Ladies and gentlemen, every single day, millions of people wake up tired, frustrated, and disconnected from the life they truly want. They blame their past, they blame the economy, they blame luck. But let me tell you something right now. Your life changes the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you. Nobody is coming. No miracle is coming. The power you've been searching for has been inside you the entire time. And today is the day you wake up. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for someone to believe in them before they finally believe in themselves. But here's the truth that changes everything. The people who wait in life are not the people who wait. They are the people who move. They move before they feel ready. They move while they are scared. They move while everyone else is still making excuses. And that is the difference between dreaming about success and actually creating it. Think about this for a moment. How many opportunities have disappeared because you hesitated? How many ideas stayed trapped inside your mind because fear convinced you to wait a little longer? The saddest part is that most people already know what they need to do. They know they should start the business, apply for the opportunity, improve their health, learn the skill, or chase the dream. The problem is not lack of knowledge. The problem is lack of action. Because action is uncomfortable, action forces you to risk failure, criticism, rejection, and uncertainty. But let me tell you something powerful. Your life will never change until your actions change. Right now, somewhere in the world, there is someone less talented than you succeeding simply because they decided to act while you continue to overthink. That should wake you up. Success does not belong to the smartest person in the room. It belongs to the person who refuses to stay stuck, the person who understands that progress is built through imperfect action, not endless preparation. People often say, I'm waiting for the right time, but the right time is an illusion. There will always be problems. There will always be risks. There will always be reasons to delay. If you wait until everything feels perfect, you will spend your entire life standing still while opportunities pass you by. Confidence is not something you start with. Confidence is something you build through action. Nobody feels fearless in the beginning. Every successful person you admire once felt uncertain, nervous, and unprepared. The difference is they did not allow fear to control their future. And here's what most people fail to understand. Action creates momentum. The smallest step forward can completely change your mindset. The moment you take action, you begin to break the mental chains that have been holding you back for years. One decision can shift your entire direction. One phone call can create an opportunity. One day of discipline can restart your confidence. One brave moment can completely transform your future. You cannot think your way into a better life. You must act your way into a better life. Dreams without execution are nothing more than distractions. Talent without action is wasted potential. And ideas without movement remain invisible to the world. The greatest tragedy is not failure. It is having the ability to become extraordinary, but choosing to remain comfortable instead. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions that may never come. The life you want is built by the actions you take when fear is screaming at you to stay still. Because in the end, winners are not people who had no fear. Winners are people who decided that their dreams mattered more than their excuses. There is a dangerous place that destroys more dreams than failure ever will. And that place is called the comfort zone. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It convinces you that staying where you are is easier than risking change. But what most people never realize is that comfort can quietly become a prison. The longer you stay inside it, the smaller your life becomes. Your potential starts fading, your ambition weakens, and eventually you begin settling for a life that is far below what you are truly capable of achieving. Here's the hard truth. Nothing extraordinary has ever been created from a life of comfort. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, leader, and visionary had to step into uncertainty before they reach greatness. Growth demands discomfort. Success demands sacrifice. Transformation demands courage. And the moment you avoid discomfort, you also avoid the very experiences that could change your life forever. Think about your own life right now. How many opportunities have you ignored because they felt uncomfortable? How many times have you stayed silent when you should have spoken up? How many dreams have you delayed because fear convinced you that it was too risky? Most people are not failing because they lack talent. They are failing because they have become addicted to safety. They choose temporary comfort over long-term growth. and then wonder why nothing changes, your comfort zone will always whisper lies into your mind. It will tell you to wait until you feel more prepared. It will tell you that now is not the right time. It will convince you to stay where things are predictable. But listen carefully. Every level of your future requires a version of you that does not exist yet. You cannot become stronger while avoiding challenges. You cannot become competent while hiding from pressure. You cannot create a powerful life while running away from difficult situations. The strongest people in the world are not stronger because life was easier for them. They became stronger because they repeatedly faced situations that forced them to grow. Every challenge carries a hidden opportunity. Every uncomfortable moment carries a lesson. Every fear you confront builds a new level of confidence within you. That is why discomfort is not your enemy. It is your training ground. Look at the moments of your life that changed you the most. They were probably not the easy moments. They were the moments that tested you, the moments that forced you to adapt, fight, learn, and evolve. Painful experiences often become the foundation of powerful transformations. And yet most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid the very struggles that can make them extraordinary. You must understand something powerful. Your dream life exists outside the boundaries of comfort. The opportunities you want, the confidence you desire, the success you imagine, all of it lives on the other side of fear. The problem is that fear feels real in the moment. It makes your heart race. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes staying comfortable seem logical. But fear is often a sign that you are standing at the edge of growth. Every time you challenge yourself, you send a message to your mind that you are capable of more. Every time you push through discomfort, you become mentally stronger. And every time you refuse to retreat back into safety, you build the resilience necessary to create an extraordinary life. The people who transform their lives are not the people who avoid discomfort. They are the people who learn to walk directly through it. Pain has the power to either destroy a person or transform them into someone stronger than they ever imagined. And the difference is not found in the struggle itself. It is found in the mindset you choose while going through it. Every person on this planet experiences pain, disappointment, rejection, heartbreak, failure, loss, pressure, betrayal. These experiences are part of being human, but while some people allow pain to break them, others use it as fuel to rise higher. That is where real strength is born. Here's something most people never hear. Pain is not always a punishment. Sometimes pain is preparation. Sometimes the difficult season you are going through is developing the discipline, resilience, and emotional strength you will need for the next level of your life. The strongest people are rarely created in moments of comfort. They are created in moments of struggle, when life forces them to discover power they never knew they had. Think about the people you admire the most. The champions, the leaders, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the visionaries. Behind every success story is a season of pain nobody talks about. Sleepless nights, rejection, failure, doubt, sacrifice. The world sees the victory, but it rarely sees the suffering that built it. And that is why pain should never make you feel weak. In many cases, pain is evidence that you are growing. The problem is that most people run from pain the moment it appears. They want instant comfort, instant success, instant results. But growth does not work that way. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles grow by resistance. Character is built through adversity. Every difficult experience carries the potential to shape you into someone wiser, stronger, and more focused. If you refuse to quit in the middle of the process, there are moments in life when you'll feel exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically. Moments when it seems like nothing is working. Moments when failure makes you question your worth. And in those moments, you have two choices. You could allow pain to convince you to stop, or you can allow pain to push you forward. Because sometimes the greatest breakthroughs are born from the darkest moments of your life. One of the most dangerous mistakes people make is believing that successful individuals never struggle. That is completely false. Success is often built on years of hidden pain and relentless persistence. The difference is that strong people learn how to use pain as energy. Instead of becoming bitter, they become focused. Instead of becoming victims, they become determined. They take every setback and turn it into motivation to prove to themselves that they are capable of more. Pain also reveals truth. It reveals who you really are when life becomes difficult. Anybody can stay positive when everything is easy, but real character appears when life tests your patience, your faith, and your resilience. Those painful moments often become turning points that redefine a person's future. They force you to grow beyond your limits. They force you to develop mental toughness. They force you to realize that you are far stronger than your fears. And maybe the most powerful truth of all is this: the pain you survive today can become the strength that inspires someone else tomorrow. Your struggles are not meaningless. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you kept moving forward even when life tried to stop you. The people who become unstoppable are not the people who avoided pain. They are the people who learned how to transform pain into power. And most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. And that is exactly why they stay stuck. They believe success begins with inspiration, excitement, or the perfect emotional state. But the truth is far more powerful. Motivation is temporary, while discipline is life-changing. Motivation can make you feel unstoppable for a moment, but discipline is what keeps you moving when the excitement disappears. And if you truly want to build a successful life, you cannot depend on emotions that change every single day. Think about how often people say things like, "I just don't feel motivated today." That single sentence has destroyed countless dreams, because life does not reward people based on how inspired they feel. It rewards people based on what they consistently do. The people who achieve greatness are not operating at a high level every day because they always feel motivated. They succeed because they have trained themselves to act regardless of how they feel. That is the hidden difference between average people and high performers. Average people act when emotions are convenient. Leaders act even when emotions are against them. They understand that feelings are unreliable. Some days you will feel confident. Some days you will feel exhausted. Some days fear will try to convince you to stop, but discipline teaches you to keep showing up no matter what is happening inside your mind. Look at the greatest athletes in the world. They do not wake up every morning excited to train. There are days when they feel tired, frustrated, or mentally drained, but they still practice. They still push themselves. They still stay committed to the process because they understand something powerful. Success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through small, repeated actions performed consistently over time. Discipline is the ability to keep promises you make to yourself. And that matters because every time you break your own commitment, you weaken your confidence. Every excuse slowly trains your mind to believe that quitting is acceptable. But every time you follow through, even when it's difficult, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that your goals matter more than temporary comfort. Here's the reality most people avoid. Motivation is often strongest at the beginning, but discipline is what carries you through the middle when things become difficult. Starting is exciting, continuing is hard. That is why so many people begin projects, goals, fitness journeys, or dreams with energy but never finish them. They depended on emotion instead of building habits. Discipline also creates freedom. That may sound strange to some people because discipline is often associated with restriction, but in reality, discipline gives you control over your future. Financial discipline creates stability. Physical discipline creates health. Mental discipline creates focus. Emotional discipline creates strength under pressure. The areas where you practice discipline eventually become the areas where you experience growth and confidence. And here's what makes discipline so powerful. Once it becomes part of your identity, your entire life changes. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop allowing moods to control your actions. Instead, you become someone who executes consistently, someone who keeps moving forward while others keep restarting. The people who transform their lives are rarely the most talented. They are the people who mastered consistency. They learned how to continue when motivation faded. They understood that long-term success belongs to those who can stay committed after the excitement disappears. Because at the end of the day, motivation may get you started, but discipline is what makes you unstoppable. Your mind is the most powerful force shaping your life. Yet most people never realize how deeply their thoughts control their future. Every decision you make, every action you take, every limit you accept begins inside your mind first. Before success becomes reality, it exists as belief. Before failure appears in the outside world, it often begins as doubt within. And that is why your mindset can either become the greatest weapon for your growth or the biggest obstacle standing in your way. Most people are trapped not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they've accepted small thinking. They spend years repeating the same negative patterns. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. People like me never succeed. These thoughts may seem harmless at first, But over time, they become internal rules that shape behavior. And once your mind accepts the limitation, your actions begin to reflect it. You stop taking risks. You stop believing in bigger possibilities. You begin settling for survival instead of pursuing greatness. Here's something powerful to understand. Your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly focus on fear, problems, and failure, your mind will search for evidence to support those beliefs. But if you train yourself to focus on growth, solutions, and possibility, your perspective begins to shift. Suddenly, obstacles no longer look permanent. Challenges no longer feel impossible. You begin to see opportunities where others only see excuses. Think about two people facing the exact same situation. One person sees rejection as proof they should quit. The other sees rejection as feedback that helps them improve. One person sees failure as the end of the journey. The other sees failure as part of the process. The situation is the same, but the mindset changes everything. That is why successful people are not necessarily free from problems. They simply think differently about those problems. Your mindset also determines your level of resilience. Life will challenge everyone. There will be moments of disappointment, setbacks, criticism, and uncertainty. But the people who continue rising are the people who refuse to allow temporary circumstances to define their identity. They understand that difficult seasons do not last forever. They know that growth often happens in uncomfortable moments. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They ask, what is this teaching me? One of the most dangerous habits in life is underestimating yourself. The moment you believe you are small, weak, or incapable, you begin shrinking your own future. You start avoiding opportunities before they even begin. You stop aiming higher because fear convinces you that failure is inevitable. But confidence is not something people are born with. Confidence is built through repeated belief and action. The way you speak to yourself matters more than most people realize. Look around at the people who achieve extraordinary things. They are not always the smartest people in the room. They are often the people with the strongest belief in possibility. They are willing to think bigger while others stay. Trapped in fear, they understand that if your vision for your life does not challenge you, it probably is not big enough. And here's the truth that changes lives. When your mindset changes, your standards change. You stop tolerating excuses. You stop accepting average effort. You stop settling for environments that drain your energy and destroy your confidence. You begin protecting your focus, your time, and your goals. Because once your mind truly believes that you are capable of more, your actions start aligning with that belief. The life you create tomorrow will always be connected to the thoughts you choose today. Your mindset is not just a way of thinking, it is the foundation of everything you will ever become. Through life without ever discovering it, they live according to fear instead of purpose. They follow limitations instead of possibilities. They spend years doubting themselves while carrying untapped greatness within them. And the tragedy is not that people fail. The tragedy is that so many people never even attempt to become who they were truly capable of becoming. Right now, there's a stronger version of you waiting to emerge. A version of you that is more confident, disciplined, courageous, and powerful than the person you see today. But greatness does not appear automatically. It is not unlocked by luck, comfort, or wishing for a better life. Greatness is revealed when a person decides to rise above excuses, fear, and self-doubt. The moment you stop seeing yourself as ordinary, everything begins to change. Most people underestimate themselves because they have spent years listening to negativity. They listen to people who told them they were not talented enough, smart enough, experienced enough, or worthy enough. Over time, those voices became internal beliefs. And once a person accepts those beliefs, they begin living far below their true potential. They stop taking risks. They stop chasing dreams. They begin surviving instead of truly living. But here's the truth. Your potential is not determined by your current circumstances. Your past mistakes do not define your future. The failures you experience do not erase the greatness inside you. Some of the most successful people in the world started with rejection, setbacks, insecurity, and struggle. What separated them from everyone else was not perfection, it was belief. They chose to believe that their future could become greater than their past. Greatness also requires responsibility. The moment you realize you're capable of more, you can no longer continue making excuses for staying the same. You cannot keep blaming your environment, your background, or your fear for the life you refuse to change. Personal transformation begins when you take ownership of your future. That is where power begins. Because once you understand that your decisions shape your destiny, you stop waiting for rescue and start creating results. There will always be moments when doubt tries to return, moments when failure makes you question yourself, moments when fear whispers that you should stay small because it feels safer. But understand this clearly. Every great achievement in history was once considered impossible by someone. Every breakthrough began with a person who refused to accept limitations. Greatness belongs to those who continue moving forward even when uncertainty surrounds them. The most dangerous thing you can do is spend your life hiding your potential from the world. Playing small may protect you from criticism, but it also protects you from growth, impact, and fulfillment. You are not created to spend your life watching others succeed while you remain trapped in fear. There is a reason you feel frustrated when you settle for less. Deep inside, you already know you were meant for more. And greatness is not only about money, status, or recognition. True greatness is becoming the highest version of yourself. It is developing the courage to rise after failure. It is building discipline when nobody is watching. It is choosing growth over comfort and purpose over fear. The people who inspire the world are not always the most gifted. They are the people who refuse to quit on themselves. Every day you have a choice. You can continue living according to your fears, or you can step into the person you were born to become. One decision, one action, one moment of courage can completely redirect your future, because the greatness you are searching for has never been outside of you. It has been waiting inside you the entire time, waiting for the moment you finally decide to believe in it.